I got beat up at Central Park. I got stitches. 2 days later, showed up. It was an all black school, black gi, fist.
Yep.
Everybody was black. He'd make you run the streets barefoot with the gi on. In the
Oh, yeah.
winter. You had to run by the park where you hung in front of.
That's badass.
So the next day when you went to school, those guys were like, "Oh, you're a karate man. Show us what you got and shit." So I went to all those little tournaments, and you learned this karate, but you never spoke about range.
No.
You never spoke about anything. Then I got into whatever I got into. I quit when I was 15. And then when I got into comedy, I always knew that if I trained in a martial art, it would help my comedy. So I got into Tang Soo Do, the Subak Do, in Boulder. That's what there was at the time. And it was a lot of kicks. And I enjoyed it. I did it for about 3 years, moved out here, didn't do dick. Got back into Subak Do. I moved to the Valley, and that was fucked. So I went over here. I never kickboxed. They said over here, there's a bunch of great little old schools around here. And there's one place of America. And I stayed there for about 6 months until I got knee surgery. And I learned a world in there. Like, he spoke about things I had never heard in karate.
Yep.
But the guy who really put me over the top, when I lived in Hollywood, I'd go over there twice a week. Black dude. Earl. Him and his brother had studied from the father-son team. They're from Hawaii, Japanese Hawaiian dudes. The son is the host of Iron Chef.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
What, Mark is one
The
guy.
Koskas.
Yeah, the Koskas.
His
Yeah, he
father.
lives in my town.
His father had a school in Denver. Now, here I am living in Boulder. I was a criminal in Boulder, you know, and I got locked up, then I came out and got married. So I stayed there for a while, and then I started training, and those guys would always talk about these 2 black dudes from Denver. And I never looked into it. You know, there was no computer. There was the yellow pages, and they weren't going to tell you there were 2 black dudes from Denver.
Yeah.
It's not the name of the karate school, you know what I'm saying? What's the dude's name? I don't know. It's 2 black dudes from Denver. So how funny is that? Those 2 black dudes from Denver have a school in Vermont. And when I found out, I used to go over there on Tuesday when I was 418 pounds.
You were 418 pounds.
When I did the longest yard.
Oh, man.
I was 390 when I did the longest yard. 380.
Wow.
And that was probably August. And after the longest yard, I kept those habits. Pastrami sandwiches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what age was that? What age started you getting that big? I mean, the 400 pounds.
I came here, when I graduated high school, I was 197. And then for about 5-10 years, when I got locked up, I was at 218.
Oh, well.
215, 218.
So the food was good there? No.
No. You know what? What I'm saying to you is I graduated in 82. And by the time I kept lifting, and I started squatting. When I moved to Colorado, I started squatting. I had never squatted before. Yeah. I always lifted and did like leg presses. But when I moved to Colorado, my roommates had gone to Brown. They were all power lifters. They were eating D-ball and fucking Anavar and shooting fucking Gorilla Juice and shit. But I don't like needles. I would faint. I always said, what's the use?
Yeah.
So they taught me how to deadlift, how to squat, and that's when I didn't know nothing about that world. Nothing. They had built all the machines downstairs. They were like, no dead bent over rows. We don't do curls here. We don't do none of that shit.
Yeah.
We do cleans, presses, squats, and deadlifts.
That's how they measure each other. So who's the toughest guy? What do you bench, dude?
What do you bench? No, they wouldn't even bench. They did a lot of isometrics. One thing they did in those days that we did isometrics before and a ton afterward. But they always believed. Their coach was Ira Wolf, who was my high school coach, who coached in the Olympics in '76. So the guy was legit.
Yeah.
Little dude that went from, he was amazing in high school. He would go from D-ball to HIV and back to D-ball.
It is so bad for you too, man.
It's
so stupid.
So that's where I got a little. I went up to about 220, 218, and I stayed up that. And then I got locked up and I went to 235. But I was hitting the bag. I was fucking running. I got into swim. Before I got locked up, I got into swimming.
Oh, yeah,
I joined the master swimming program. 2 classes, 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
Oh, I
bitch.
thought that was it.
No, they don't fuck around, dog.
I know.
The chick was a triathlete from Hawaii, and she was Hawaii. So half the year she would train in Boulder for the altitude and because they love the sun.
Yeah.
But what the fuck? Hawaii got a lot of sun too.
Yeah.
And then she would go down there and train ocean. So she used to, those 6 months she was in Boulder, dog, it would snow. Okay? In the winter, because it was outside.
Oh, yeah.
It would snow, 2 feet of snow. They would shovel a path from the dressing room to the pool. The pool would just be steaming, and there'd still be 90 motherfuckers in there.
90
motherfuckers in there. There'd be 10 lanes, 5 people a fucking lane, and 5 waiting to jump in because there's a class at 6.
Wow.
But she put you through hell. You know, she did a...
Oh, swimming is good.
A ball between your legs, do 20 pulling.
Yep.
And then come back and put the fucking... Carry the thing and then do 20 laps of kick and then put it all together. Then come back, take a minute rest and do 440s. Back and forth 18 times. I could, you know.
Yep.
It was amazing. When I walked in there, boss, she said, let me watch you swim. The first time I started swimming, and I woke up and I had hit the wall. I said, okay, we got to start slow with you. And for a week, she made me just go like this and kick against the wall.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm not going to let you in the class until you could shoot all the way up. She taught me the exact science of the leg and why it should be like that. Sometimes I jump in a pool and I'm swimming. First 2 minutes, I know I'm fucking up. And it all comes back to me.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I increase my swim. And I could see how I'm digging still.
But it's you. I see you do that now. You know those moves, but it is. Somebody told me that as well. I had no clue, but it's so much technique. Everything is technique.
You know what? After a certain age, you realize everything is technique. I was on Joe's podcast, not this time, but the time before, talking about pitching. People who have the ability to pitch. And I learned this at a young age. I used to go to Joe Namath football camp. When Joe Namath was in the height of being Joe Namath, he had a football camp in New York. Did I learn to be a quarterback? No. But you always learn one thing in those BAS RUTTEN. Let me tell you how brilliant he was. When you walk into Joe Namath's camp, there was a bunch of white dudes. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, great to be here. You're like, where's Joe? And you're like, where's Joe? And they're like, well, just wait, give us 15 minutes. All of a sudden they line you up. BAS RUTTEN, yell your hand. Here. Lee Sayat, here. Joe Diaz, here. And then Joe Namath will come out. And he'd give a speech, what you expect from you the whole week. But the first thing they did, and I never followed this till years later, was they make you go to your room, put shorts on and a t-shirt, and everybody got tests for the 40.
Yeah.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.